What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with review for Love After Lockup Season 4, Episode number 10, you guys. The episode was titled The Homewrecker and the Nervous Wreck, you guys. So this is also the season finale. So I don't know, I guess when we return with the second half of this season, because you guys know how Love After Lockup is, we go up until episode 100, right? So I guess when we come back, we'll probably go from Love After Lockup to Love After Lockup, Love Life After Lockup, Love During Lockup. I feel like that's probably what's gonna happen, right? So episode, like I said, this is season finale. Now, before I jump into this review, if you guys are watching this or any other video on the channel and are not subscribed to the channel, I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video. And you guys, with that out of the way, without further ado, let's discuss Love After Lockup, shall we? All right, you guys, so I'm actually going to go in order of my notes this week because this episode was kind of all over the place, especially with the couples, right? So first up is Indy and Harry, right? Now, you guys remember the last episode that Miss Yolanda, she went and picked up Harry right there, went for that ride, right? She left Harry wherever she left Harry at, right? So she called Indy. She was like, I guess your spiritual husband must have called you and told you I left him on the side of the road somewhere, right? So Miss Yolanda gets back to his sister's crib, right? And Indy, she's like, are you pouting? And Indy's just upset. I'm like, girl, why are you upset at this situation? It doesn't make any sense, right? So somebody left it in the comment section last week, and I forgot who it was. But somebody made a very valid point about Ms. Yolanda. The fact that, you guys remember, I was talking about last week that Indy listened to Aniris, her psychic, which we'll talk about that in just a minute, right? But Indy went there because her psychic said so, but her mama and her brother did help her pack up and move down to Ohio. So Ms. Yolanda, you got a little bit in this too, right? So you can't put this all on Harry because you facilitated the bullshit. So just saying. So we see Indy. So Indy has finally decided that she's gonna take herself back on to Maryland, right? I'm happy for her, right? Go back to Maryland. Leave Harry alone. Harry is just a child pretending to be a grown man. That's all Harry is, right? So she called Harry, right? She told Harry, I'm going back home. So Harry's gonna come over there and see her, right? Now, when he came over there, Harry was still in his feelings about the fact that Miss Yolanda pulled up on him. And he was talking about Indy, and I'm like, Harry, you are the last person, because he basically was trying to call her childish, and I'm like, Harry, again, you're the last person to be having this conversation about anybody. Like, I need you to take a good, long, hard look in the mirror, buddy. You can talk about Indy, but you ain't no better than Indy. You are no better than Indy. You need to grow up as well, right? So towards the end of the episode, we see that Harry, he is still staying with Turi. And child, what was that breakfast that he made for her? Because I was confused. I think he made an egg, right? But did he fry that egg in some grease? Because that's what I'm looking at. I'm like, is that grease he just fried that egg in? And then I don't know if that was rice or if it was grits. Whatever it was stuck to the pot. I'm like, Harry, you don't know how to cook. And I'm gonna pray and hope, and I'm just gonna hope and pray that Tori did not eat that, right? But hey, they're still together, right? So the wrap up with Indy and Harry is that I think he's still with Harry, but he's reaching out to Indy. Indy is still getting advice from Aniris. I don't know why, and now she's just started accepting his phone calls again. I don't know why. I don't know why. Harry is childish, right? And I just saw I was watching last week Auntie's Advice. Love her channel. I was watching Auntie's Advice, and I didn't know, I didn't see her interview with Harry, so I don't really know what happened. But I know she said that he wanted his fans to come after her And then I know I saw a video where Indy had wrote her, had DM'd her, right? But why are you accepting phone calls from this man? He's childish, very childish. Let him go. Push him to the side. Move on with your life. Find somebody that is right for you. So we're gonna pause here and we're gonna move forward. All right, you guys. So the next couple up is Taylor and Chance. It really wasn't much with them in this episode, so this is gonna be really quick to talk about Taylor and Chance, right? So Taylor and Chance, you guys remember Chance wants to propose to Taylor, right? Remember he asked Bobby for her hand in marriage. Bobby said okay, but if he steps out of line or anything right like that, she's gonna step in and be there for her sister, right? As she should. So Chance is planning this date for the girls and for Taylor. I still just don't like this situation, right? It still just bothers me to see this situation with Taylor and Chance. I just don't like him around her kids. And then she has 3 young girls. I just don't like it. It don't sit right with my spirit. It just does not. It's not for me, right? I don't like it, and I don't see how she can like it, right? I know you've been in a relationship with him before he got out of prison, but you really don't know this man outside of prison. Take some time to get to know this man. Get to know his likes, his dislikes. Wait at least a good 6 months to a year before you bring him around your kids. You get to know him first. Then if you feel like you really know him and he's a good person, then bring him around your kids. But you just went balls to the wall, huh? And then, one of the little, I don't know if he gave her maybe some hot chocolate or something. He told her it was hot and she drank it and she started crying. And it's the way he be touching. It was him touching. I was like, oh no. Like, I literally cringed at that scene. I was like, oh, no, this ain't good. So then he made a paper where it says, will you marry me, right? That's 4 different construction papers, right? So one little girl had will, one little girl had you, one little girl had marry, and then he had the me. So he proposed to her. She said yes. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't see it lasting. And then her laugh is annoying as hell. Gotta be real. Her laugh annoys the shit out of me, right? But you know what? If she likes it, I don't love it, but it's her life to live, not mine. I'm gonna pray for her and them kids, right? That's all I can say. I think their wrap-ups is that they're planning a wedding, right? It was something about Bobby. I forgot what it said about Bobby. I guess congratulations are in order. I don't know. I don't see it for him. I really don't. I really don't see it for him. But hey, it is what it is, right? So you guys, we're gonna pause here and we're gonna move forward. All right, guys. So the next couple up is Rick and Radine, right? So Radine lets us know that things between she and Rick are still where they were in the last episode, because Radine is just still feeling some type of way about the fact that Rick is adamant that she move in with him. And I see her point of view, right? Because it's very controlling. And one thing that I've been saying with a lot of these people, like with Lacey and Antoine, she just got out of prison. She's had people telling her what to do, when to do it, for X amount of years, right? So now she's coming out of prison. She's living her life. She's a free woman. She's not on home confinement. She's not on anything, right? She is free to do whatever she wants to do. And what she wants to do is she wants to live with her dad and her stepmother, right? And to me, I don't understand how Rick, like literally when it comes to Rick, that is just pure selfishness, that you want her to just live with you, right? Even though she wants to be with her family. That's selfishness. And if I was Radine, I would be pissed off too. So then we see Radine and she's talking to her stepmother, right? And when you listen to her stepmother talk, I'm like, girl, what if this man was abusing your stepdaughter? Oh, he's good for you. He was there for you when you were in prison. He this, he that, he this. I'm like, ma'am, if he's all that good, why don't you divorce her daddy and you go be with him, right? Because you are singing his praises, but Ray Dean says to her stepmother that he deserves to be with someone that feels the same way about him that he feels about her. And it ain't her. So then she tells her that, she and Kay are married. Now her face kind of scrunched up and frowned up when she said that she's married to Kay. And you guys can let me know what you think in the comment section. But when I read her face, I don't think that. Now see what she said later in the episode, later in this scene. I'm like, I don't know if I got that. That ain't the vibe that I really got from you. The vibe that I got from you was the fact that you felt some type of way about the fact that she is married to a woman. It didn't give me the vibe that you were upset that she got married and didn't have you guys there, right? Because then Ray Dean explained how they got married, which somebody else did that, right? Another couple on the previous season got married by proxy. I can't remember who it was. Was it Andrea and Lamar? No, it wasn't him. Oh, I know who it was that got married by proxy. I think I know who it was. It was the white girl and the black boy, right? The one in California, out there in California. Nope. No. I think these two were in jail too, right? It's another couple on Love After Lockup that got married by proxy. It's another couple that got married by proxy, and I can't remember who it is. You guys will let me know, because I can't remember. I know somebody else got married by proxy, and I think it was because they both were in prison at the time. It's going to bother me, because I cannot think of who that couple was. It is going to bother me, because I cannot think of the couple that got married by proxy. And I'm spitting my bad, you guys. It's going to bother me. It's going to come to me after I finish this review. Who was it that got married by proxy? And it's in a recent season. Because they both had two people stand in for them because they weren't there. I believe it was last season. It is what it is. I don't remember. You guys probably remember, and you'll tell me in the comment section below, right? But yeah, she and Kay got married by proxy, right? So, like I said, the stepmother gave me the vibe that she didn't like the fact that she's married to a woman. It's not the fact that she's married and that they weren't, invited or anything. And she's like, when Kay gets home, we're gonna have a big wedding, right? Because when she explained it, I'm like, you do realize she's telling you it's similar to going to the courthouse and getting married. You just go down to the justice of the peace, say your I do's, and that's it. Bam, bam, done, right? So then we wrap up with Rick and Ray Dean, and we see Rick and Ray Dean, they go out on a date, right? And this is when Ray Dean finally admitted to him that she is married to Kay, right? His face was like, it was literally Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Because, I was like, oh, Rick, pick up your face, buddy. Ray Dean, love, I'm going to call you delusional. I think that's going to be the word that I'm going to call you. Because you said to him, hopefully Kay doesn't do you the way that you did him. But if it happens, it's your karma, right? But then she said, Rick, he'll be back. I was like, you think? Y'all, when it comes to Ray Dean, I'm sorry. Again, I know my teeth ain't perfect, but I'm about to get, my gap closed, my space is closed, because I'm about to get Invisalign pretty soon. But Ray Dean, these teeth, they're black. I can understand brown teeth. I can understand brown, but black. And then Rick has kissed her. Ugh. Just want to throw up when you think about that. Her teeth, they're rotting. They got it. Her breath has this thing. I'm not even trying to be funny or shady, but her breath gotta smell like ass. All the money that Rick has spent on her, she should have been saying, you know what, Rick, save that money up for when I get out of prison, because my teeth look worse than a picket fence. So what we need to do is, we need to go to a smile doctor as soon as I get out, right? As soon as I get out of prison, take me to a dentist so that they can give me some veneers. I don't even care if she get them horse teeth looking veneers. Get your teeth fixed. That's what you need to do. Get your grill fixed. Ugh. Ugh. But their wrap up was, at this point, I don't think Rick is talking to Ray Dean, but you know, it is what it is. Some of these storylines, I feel like we're going to see them on Life After Lockup. I kind of hope not, because none of these couples this season are that interesting for me to want to see them for a second season. None of them. I don't find any of these couples that fascinating, to be honest with you. Let's go down the line of everybody that's on this current season. Indy and Harry, don't ever want to see them again. Taylor and Chance, absolutely not. Rick and Ray Dean, maybe. That's a maybe. Lacey and Antoine, hell to the no. Kevin and Tiffany, absolutely not. Chaz and Bran, no. Kayla and Marcel, maybe. So we got maybe 2 couples that I'd want to see. A possible 3, but 2. I would be okay with seeing Kayla and Marcel. I would be okay with seeing Rick and Ray Dean, and I kind of would be okay with Lacey and Antoine. But what we're going to do is we're going to pause here and we're going to move forward. All right, you guys. So the next couple that we're talking about is Lacey and Antoine, right? So Lacey and Antoine, they're finally going to go. Well, he's already been over to Christy's house, right? You guys remember in last week's episode, he wants for Christy and for Lacey to sit down and make peace with each other, right? So they're getting ready to go over to Christy's crib, right? Lacey says, so we're only going to be here for 10 minutes. I'm like, so you're going to waste your gas for a 10-minute trip so that means you're just going to go in, say hi, walk out? Girl, how much sense does that make, right? Please make it make sense. So they get there. We see that he has some younger siblings. I was like, okay. I was like, well, damn, bitch. You showed up sloshed with Lacey. Do you be sloshed around your kids? I mean, I know some people do. I know an alcoholic don't give a damn about having kids, right? I know that, right? So then we also see that Christy got a boyfriend, and he's black, and his name is Patrick. I was like, oh, okay, Christy. I knew I liked you for some reason, right? So then they sit down for dinner, right? They start talking about Lacey and Antoine, about them living together, right? This is Antoine's first time living with a girlfriend, right? So they ask him, how are things going? He's saying, you know, he's trying to get used to everything and whatnot, right? So then Christy asks Lacey, how are things going, right? Lacey is trying to talk, but then Antoine, he goes and gets into his phone. He starts doing stuff. And they were like, Antoine, listen to her. He didn't want to listen to her, right? So then at one point they said, you know, well, how do you feel about what she said? He says, I don't know, because I wasn't really listening. I'm like, that was rude as fuck. So he got up and he walked outside because he's in his feelings about them asking him questions. Girl, what? You're upset about them asking you questions? Now, I've been on Antoine's side for the last few episodes, right? This episode right here made me say, you know what? I don't really see it for Lacey, nor do I see it for Antoine. And I'm like, no, neither one of them are a good fit for each other, right? Just a mess, right? So Christy and Lacey were having a conversation, right? Lacey, Christy gave you a forewarning earlier in the season when she mentioned she was drunk, right? She told you her son wasn't shit, and you didn't heed the warning. Now she's sober, she's apologizing to you, but then she's telling you he's texting his ex-girlfriend and he got 50 women in his phone he's texting, and you have the audacity in your interview with the producers to say you don't know if she is trying to break you guys up or if she's trying to help you. You dumbass, obviously she's trying to fucking help you. Why would his mother try to, well, I mean, like I said last week, it does look a little bit incestuous, right? But she's telling you that her son is texting his ex and a slew of other women, and you think she wants to break you up. How dumb are you? Just asking, how stupid, how dumb does that sound? How dumb does that sound to you? She's trying to break you up. Girl, she's trying to help you, but you know what? If you like it, you gonna stick around for it. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. So we see them and they're driving home, right? So she straight up asked him what, told him about what Chrissy told her, right? He says that there was a miscommunication. Lacey, I'm gonna ask you this question one more time, and I'm not being mean or rude or anything. How dumb are you? Because I just gotta ask that question. You're telling him his mother said that he has 50 women that he's texting, and he's texting his ex-girlfriend. Instead of him telling you no, that's not true, he tells you there was a miscommunication. How was there a miscommunication between you and his mother? She said it straight out, right? And I know he's trying to play that it was a miscommunication between him and his mother. Okay, girl, you like it, I love it. So they got into a whole argument with each other, right? They got to the house. He got out the car. He took his mic pack off. They put on the screen that Antoine and Lacey, after that day, they stopped filming, right? So then the next day, we don't see her on screen. We hear her voice, right? So she's telling the producers, and when she was talking, I'm like, girl, are you afraid to leave him? Because that's really what it was giving. It was giving abuse to me, because she was like, she doesn't want to leave him. She actually, I think she did say she kind of fears something, right? But what she said was, he can end up in two places, back in jail or in a grave. Girl, run. Then to wrap them up, Lacey has bought a house, right? But they're pregnant. I was like, girl, what? Their baby is due in November this year. I'm like, girl, you are a fool. A fool. A fool. I can't with Lacey, girl. You are dumb as shit. Ain't no way. Girl, bye. Let's pause here and move forward. Guys, next up, Tiffany and Kevin. So Kevin is talking to his homeboy, right? So he's telling his homeboy that he hasn't talked to Tiffany since she left, right? So his friend was like, well, why don't you reach out to her? So he don't really know what to say. So he reaches out to her. She answers the phone. She says, what do you want? He was like, I really haven't talked to you since you left. So, I just want to see if, things are good with us, right? She tells him, well, a lot is going on with me right now. But, once I figure everything out, I'll let you know, right? So then we see him and Tiffany. They're out on this date with each other, right? She's telling him about, having mixed emotions about him. And I get that. So then Kevin hit her with the Jedi mind trick and made it about her. Excuse me, y'all. So yeah, he hit her with the Jedi mind trick, right? Now, he was talking about the fact that, he's talked to other people while she was in prison. She was okay with that, right? She figured that once she got out of prison, that stuff would have ended. Any reasonable person would think that, right? If I'm in prison and we're dating, I'm not going to expect you to be exclusive to me. I'm not going to expect, I would think that you would be dating around, right? I'm not going to ask you to drop everything in your life because I'm in prison. I'm not going to do that. That's selfish, right? But the thing is, once you got out of prison and you continue to pursue this relationship with her, you then should have told everybody else that you had been talking to previously. You should have put them in the past, right? But he didn't do that. So then he brought up the fact of her at the halfway house. I'm like, Kevin, you playing games, my dude, right? So then he suggests to her that they have an open relationship. I was like, oh, okay. Because I was like, oh, so that's what we're going to do. And at this point, they still haven't found a third person for their relationship. Good luck to them. I don't really give a shit about it. So let's pause here and move forward, you guys. Chaz and Brandon. Chaz is insecure. That's the one thing that I'm getting from Chaz is he's very insecure. So you guys remember in last week's episode that Bran, when she was going to go over to her friend's house because she has some stuff over there that she's storing and she needs to get it, right? So yeah, they get over there, right? Chaz sees his friend. Chaz is, like I said, Chaz is very jealous, right? When it comes to Chaz and Bran, when I honest to God don't see them lasting the test of time because of his insecurities, right? That's really what I think is going to be the downfall of those two is Chaz's insecurities. And then I also don't think that Branwen is just that interested in him, right? Because when they're together, it's just very awkward. Like, it looks like it's two homies hanging out. It looks like it's two homies hanging out, right? And they said, you know, I've been looking at you for a minute. Yeah, I've been looking at you for a minute. But then they be like, oh, how do we do this, right? It just gives two friends who are trying to make a relationship work, right? So, Branwen is talking to her friend. I think that was Jessica. I can't be for sure, right? But she's talking to her, and you know, the friend is advocating for Chaz, but you know, Branwen is telling her about his jealousy, and then while she's telling her about his jealousy, Chaz is in the house with the friend, asking the friend about their relationship. Had they ever, you know, took it there, right? He's like, no, we're just friends. I think Chaz is gonna have an issue with any male that she's friends with, right? I just think that's his insecurities. I just think that's an insecure thing, right? So, and then he's talking about the fact that they text a lot. My best friend and I mean, obviously, I'm a man and she's a woman, right? We text a lot. We did have an issue when she first got married, right? We had a little incident with her husband thinking we were, you know, doing something. But my thing is with any man, if you get with a woman and you know that her friend group consists of men, you need to have a conversation before you walk down the aisle and say I do to a person, right? Especially if you know her best friends are men, right? And especially if they've had a friendship before you. If the friendship is, I'm not gonna say, so I would say if the friendship is 5 years or older, that lets you know something right there, right? Obviously they don't have romantic feelings for each other, because 5 years into a friendship, you would think that if they really wanted to try something, they would have done something 5 years prior. So that's why I say 5 years or longer, right? Chaz, I just don't, like I said, I just don't see it. It's just the insecurities for me. So then we see him and Brandon when they go back to his hotel room, right? They were going to have sex. Brandon, it was really awkward and a nervous vibe, right? She was crying, right? And when she started crying, she said one thing. I'm like, I don't know, I don't know that she really want to have sex with him, right? I just don't think she wants to have sex with him. I don't think she really likes him like that. And you guys can let me know what you think in the comments, but I just don't believe she likes him that well. But okay, whatever. So to wrap up with Branwen and Chaz is Branwen is she still hasn't been cleared to go to Kentucky by her PO, right? So she's still wherever the hell she is now. Honestly, once again, I don't really believe it's the PO, post op, the parole officer. I'm about to say post office, the parole officer. Thinking about Ready to Love. I don't think it's a parole officer. I really believe it's Branwen that's holding this up. And also, when it comes to Branwen, girl, you need to shoot. She's building a good relationship with her daughter, right? You need to stay where your daughter is and build a relationship with your daughter. If Chaz really loves you, he wouldn't want you to leave your daughter, right? He would say, okay, baby, I'll move here. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I don't care. Like I said, that relationship just gives me I'm not that into you. But that's it, you guys. Let's pause here and wrap up the episode. All right, you guys. So the last couple that we are going to talk about is Kayla and Marcel. Now, with Kayla and Marcel, it really isn't much with them, right? Kayla and Marcel, Marcel is on home confinement, right? They're having a party for Marcel. Everybody's coming over. We meet Marcel's cousin. Now, Kayla called the cousin Teresa, but when the producers were talking to Marcel's cousin, it said Tile, right? And then Tile also has a beard too, right? So I don't know if Tile is a trans man or if Tile, I don't know what Tile identifies as, so I'm just gonna say Tile. That's all we're gonna say is Tile, because I don't want to misgender anybody. Don't want to misgender Tile. So, like I said, Tile is the reason that Kayla and Marcel are with each other. They keep talking about the fact that Kayla and Marcel have been together for 13 years. Technically, they've been in a relationship for 13 years, but they haven't been in a relationship in the free world for 13 years. They're just now getting to know each other, right? And y'all talking about marriage and kids. I'm like, damn, don't y'all want to get to know each other? Like, 13 years in prison. He's different. She's different. Y'all are not the same people when he went in. Get to know each other. Get to know each other. I do realize that Kayla and Marcel are on different pages, because when Tile was talking to Marcel about the wedding, right? Marcel ain't in no rush to get married, because Tile was talking about being the best man. I'm like, your cousin doesn't want to get married. Kayla does, right? Kayla wants kids. I'm like, oh, y'all are on completely. I don't even know if y'all in the same library at this point. Y'all are not in the same library. But that's really the wrap up with them. Is she wants kids. We did see Marcel talking in his interview to another. Oh, and his phone rang. It was another woman. I think her name was Anna. It's gonna be a mess. But that's it, you guys. So really, to wrap this season up, there is something wrong with every person on this cast. There's something wrong with all of them. I think they all need to go get a mental evaluation. Pretty much the majority of these people need a damn mental evaluation, because there is just something wrong with them. Literally and figuratively, there is something wrong with all these people. There's something wrong with Kayla, because I just don't understand how you wasted 13 years of your life. Now, granted, you said you slept with somebody, but I just don't know how you put your life on pause for 13 years. Chaz and Branwyn. Chaz, she doesn't like you like that, buddy, and you're hella insecure. Tiffany and Kevin. Toxic. Lacey and Antoine. Antoine is, I'm gonna say eccentric. I'm gonna be nice and say eccentric. Lacey is high strung. Rick and Radine, meth addicts. Taylor and Chance, delusional. Both of them. Indy and Harry, delusional and dumb as hell. That's all. Let me know what you guys thought about this season of Love After Lockup. I enjoyed it, but yeah, some of these people don't need to come back ever. Ever again. But leave your comments in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notifications, you guys. Subscribe to the channel. Share the video. And until next time, you guys, stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands, you guys. Wear a mask. Socially distance. Be blessed. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.